Okay, so today let's dive into something that nobody really prepares you for after you have a baby.
Uh-huh.
It's postpartum gas and bloating. You bring this tiny human into the world, which is
Mm.
amazing and everything. But
Yeah,
let's be real, it really does a number on your body.
it does. It's so incredibly common.
It really is.
I don't think it's talked about enough.
Yeah, and that's what we're here to do. We're going to really dive deep today
Yeah,
into why this happens and, more importantly, what you can do about it.
absolutely.
We've got some great research lined up for you today,
Yes.
including a really insightful article.
Mm.
I think it's called Postpartum Gas and Bloating, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. That's
And
it.
it features advice from OBGYNs, midwives, even real moms sharing their experiences.
Yeah, we're going to unpack all of that for you today.
Who are. And, for anyone listening who thinks this is just like a minor inconvenience, think again. Okay.
Mm.
Melinda Jameson, a mom of two, she put it perfectly. She basically said she felt like her stomach was going to explode.
Wow.
Yeah. Not exactly what you want to be dealing with when you're sleep deprived
Yeah.
and caring for a newborn, right?
No, absolutely not. So let's get into it. Let's start by understanding the why behind all this bloating.
Yeah. What is it about childbirth that just turns our stomachs into, well, hot air balloons?
Yeah. So after delivery, your body is like a system that's totally rebooting itself.
Okay.
So your hormones are going to be adjusting, your organs are shifting back into place, and your digestive system, unfortunately, can get a little sluggish.
Oh, okay.
And the biggest culprit behind that sluggishness is usually constipation.
Yeah, the article really honed in on that, didn't it?
It did.
But why is constipation such a big deal? I mean, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but is it really that connected to gas and bloating?
It really is.
Okay.
So you see, when things slow down in your gut, it's not just that things are, moving slowly.
Right.
It's that it allows bacteria to build up.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what bacteria love to produce?
Oh, no, don't tell me. Gas.
Gas, exactly.
Okay.
And there are a few key reasons why constipation is so common postpartum. Dehydration is a major one. Your body loses more fluids during childbirth. And then, obviously, if you're breastfeeding, you need even more hydration than usual.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then there's fiber, or the lack thereof.
Right.
Let's be real. When you're caring for a newborn, making sure you're getting enough fruits and vegetables and whole grains
Right.
might not be at the top of your priority list.
Definitely not.
And then finally, movement. Those first few weeks postpartum, you're often encouraged to rest and recover,
Right.
which is important, but it also means you're not up and moving as much as usual.
So it's like a triple whammy for your digestive system.
Exactly.
Dehydration, low fiber, lack of movement.
That's a recipe, yeah.
It's no wonder things get backed up.
Exactly. But constipation isn't the only factor at play here.
Okay.
The article also mentioned that C-sections, pain medication, and even iron supplements can contribute to postpartum gas and bloating.
Okay, let's unpack those a bit more, because I know a lot of listeners can probably relate to at least one of those.
Yeah.
So, C-sections. We know it's major abdominal surgery. But how does that impact things, down in our gut?
Well, anytime you have surgery, it, disrupts the normal function of your organs.
Right.
And your intestines are no exception. They can get a little sleepy after a C-section.
Leaky intestines, that's a new one.
Okay.
And what about pain medication? Because that's pretty standard after a C-section.
Right.
But I've also heard that can make constipation worse.
You're right, it can. Pain medications, while they're necessary for managing discomfort, they can slow down the contractions of your intestines, which are what help to move things along.
So you're dealing with the surgical recovery
Yeah.
and then potentially this added slowdown from pain meds.
Right.
It's like your poor digestive system just can't catch a break.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And then on top of that, there's iron. So if you've lost a significant amount of blood during delivery, your doctor might recommend iron supplements. And while they're crucial for replenishing your iron levels, they can also be notorious for causing constipation.
It's like a perfect storm of factors.
It is.
Okay, so we've covered the why. Let's get to the part I think everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
What can we do to relieve this postpartum gas and bloating?
Yes.
Give us the good news.
There's good news.
Okay.
A lot of it comes down to simple lifestyle changes.
Okay, that's music to my ears. Tell me more.
Okay, so remember how we talked about dehydration, low fiber, lack of movement, all kind of contributing to constipation?
Right.
Well, addressing those is key. So first things first, hydration. Aim to drink plenty of water throughout the day, especially if you're breastfeeding.
Makes sense, yeah. You're producing milk, so you got to replenish those fluids.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to fiber, you want to try incorporating more fiber-rich foods into your diet, things like oatmeal, bananas, lentils. These are all really gentle on the stomach and can help get things moving.
Okay. What about movement? I know like those first few weeks postpartum can be really rough, but you mentioned like even small movements can make a difference.
Absolutely. You don't have to run a marathon or anything.
Oh, good.
Even short walks around the house, some gentle stretching, or some light yoga can be really helpful.
Yeah, the article mentioned Jenna, a mom of 3, who found relief from her C-section gas pains by doing gentle yoga in her hospital bed.
Oh, wow.
I know, right in the hospital bed.
That's a great example, yeah.
Yeah.
Even those small movements can make a big difference. And speaking of finding unexpected relief, we heard from Carrie, a doula,
Okay.
who stumbled upon the power of body positioning.
Body positioning. Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So it turns out, like, how you position your body can actually impact your ability to release gas.
You're kidding. I never would thought of that.
It's true. For example, being upright can be helpful, whether you're standing or even just sitting up straight.
Right.
Gentle exercises like walking can help. And then there are specific yoga poses like squatting or child's pose that can encourage things to move along.
Okay, so it's not just what you eat and drink, but how you position yourself throughout the day.
Exactly. And, sometimes those basic lifestyle changes aren't enough. Some people need a little extra help. That's where over-the-counter gas relief medications can come in.
Right, like Gas X. I remember reading that it's generally considered safe for breastfeeding moms.
It is, yeah.
But, like always, it's crucial to check with your doctor first.
Absolutely. Always check with your doctor first.
Right.
Now, even with all of this, some moms still experience persistent gas and bloating.
Right.
We heard from Samantha, a mom of 4, who found that warmth was her saving grace. She swore by warm liquids like herbal teas and broth, even decaf coffee.
Warmth. That's so interesting. Why would warmth make a difference?
Well, think about it this way. Like, when you're stressed or tense, your muscles tighten up.
Right.
And that includes the muscles in your digestive system.
Oh, okay. So it's not just about the warmth itself. It's about that relaxation it brings.
Exactly. Yeah, warmth helps to relax those muscles, which can, get things moving a little more smoothly.
Okay.
Samantha found that even warm baths or using a heating test on her stomach brought some relief.
So, like, those cozy, comforting rituals aren't just about, like, pampering yourself. They're actually serving a physiological purpose.
Right.
I like that.
It's amazing how, interconnected our bodies are.
It really is.
But before we wrap up, we do need to touch on a bit of a serious note.
Okay.
While most postpartum gas and bloating is completely normal, there are a few red flags to be aware of.
Okay, that's a good point. Because, as uncomfortable as gas can be, it's usually not a sign of anything serious.
Right.
But there are exceptions to that rule.
Right. One thing to watch out for, especially after a C-section, is if you're not passing any gas at all.
Okay.
This could indicate a condition called ileus, which basically means your bowels have stopped working the way they should.
Oh, wow.
And it's serious, and it needs immediate medical attention.
So no gas is actually a bad sign in this case.
In this case, yeah, unfortunately.
Wow.
Another red flag is severe gas pain that's accompanied by other symptoms like constipation, vomiting, a swollen abdomen, and again, not being able to pass gas. This could be a bowel obstruction, which is also a medical emergency.
And I remember the article mentioned something called a fistula, which is much rarer, but still something to be aware of.
Yes, a fistula is an abnormal connection, in this case, between the rectum and the vagina.
Okay.
And one of the signs can be gas persistently passing through the vagina.
Okay.
Again, it's rare, but if you notice this, it's important to reach out to your doctor right away.
So it sounds like, when it comes to postpartum gas and bloating, trust your instincts.
Yeah.
If something feels off or just isn't getting better, don't hesitate to reach out to your healthcare provider.
Couldn't agree more. Always better to err on the side of caution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we've certainly covered a lot of ground today, no pun intended.
That's right.
Hopefully this deep dive has given you a better understanding of why postpartum gas and bloating happens, along with, some practical tips for finding relief.
Yeah.
And remember, as we heard from Melinda Jameson, it won't last forever.
It won't. This too shall pass.
Yes.
Your body is incredible, and it's capable of amazing things, including recovering from childbirth.
I love that encouraging message. Now, before we go, one final thought for you to ponder. We focused a lot on the physical aspects today, but what about the emotional side of things? Have you or someone you know ever felt pressure to, quote, bounce back quickly after childbirth, downplaying these, very real and often uncomfortable side effects? It's something to think about. Until next time, take care of yourselves and those little ones.